everybody. This is a podcast brought to you by Four Drunk Men, talking about sports. We are not drunk, but I'm just going to say that, and you should just imagine that throughout this whole podcast. This is the Chasing Points podcast, where we talk about being almost in our 40s and talking about sports still. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Feeling good.
Very sober.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, same, bro.
Yes, sober life is the way that we're going. I know who wasn't sober. That was Knicks fans. They were not sober this weekend, and I'm sure OKC fans also joined that as well. So we got some basketball to talk about. The Mavs fans probably were not sober either, and we'll get to that. Us Yankees fans will rejoice on here as well, which will be a great time to do that. Sam will give us his power rankings for baseball. Haven't had that in a little bit. Somehow, some way, Harrison snuck golf in here, so we'll be talking about that. Mr. Irrelevant is no longer irrelevant because he got paid along with his teammate, who also just got paid. And we will be talking about Pete Rose. Did you think we were going to talk about that on this podcast? Well, if you didn't, we are. So, gentlemen, how was your week? How was your weekend? How's all the things?
Congrats. That was right off the cuff there, Brandon. That whole intro was not scripted. You just
ad-libbed.
It was a good job.
Pieced that all together. Yeah. That was good. Yeah. The Mr. Irrelevant got paid
that was
chef's kiss, bro. Just
well done. Beautiful. Standing ovation.
Golf claps, everyone.
golf clap.
Yeah, no, good weekend. And here we are. Monday. Weather's nice. Can't complain.
Weather is nice. It's
Same.
Not raining for once, you know.
It's too windy. Too windy for golf. Don't like that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It'll cool out for you soon, as long as the pollen's not kicking your ass. I mean, which it was doing for a while. It's gotten better out here. Let's get into it, guys. The Thunder absolutely stomped a mud hole in the Nuggets.
They beat them.
They beat them bad.
Yep.
There was no chance. They beat them so bad that Aaron Gordon said that the NBA should not have backed one game in between and allow teams to rest longer so teams won't get beat by a max amount like that. Whether you agree with that or not, I don't, because you get paid millions of dollars to do this, and you should go and just rest and do it. They've been doing it forever, Harrison. I get it.
Wait, what was he complaining about?
So he's
that. Go ahead.
So the series now, you play a game, day of rest, then play another game. So They actually used to do, you play a game, and if you're traveling, you get 2 days.
2 days.
I agreed with that. I think that should come back. It would stretch out the series longer, but what are we really doing in June? So I agreed with them. I think, we have seen a lot of blowouts from game to game this playoffs in particular. And I like the rest. I think from traveling, I think you should get an extra day of rest. The NHL does a rest day between traveling from cities to cities. So, and the NBA used to do it too. So I'm not sure why they've condensed it this way.
They're trying new things out.
TV probably.
I'm not mad with it either way, but I think we talked about it on this podcast a couple of times. This playoffs have been different this year. It's so I can understand where he's coming from, even though I don't like it because the old way that you said, Harrison, I also agree that was the way that I was accustomed to, and I was fine with it. But I'm also fine with this. But if it continues to give a product like this where there is continuous blowouts like for years to come, then yeah, they definitely need to change it back. But it just, to me, I was just like, you're just crying because you lost. That's what it just felt like to me. I get it, but that's what it felt like to me.
It's the second Game 7 in a row for them. I don't know if another day of rest would have helped him. I didn't watch that. Once it got out of hand, I just turned it off. But it didn't look like another day of rest was going to help him. So and that's I mean he has been a monster for the last since he came to Denver. So this is not a disrespect to him. It's just
he was playing with basically a hamstring tear. So that's what will come out when this is over. And props to him for gutting it out and trying. Like he changed the way he was playing in Game 7, and it just wasn't effective enough. But another day of rest wouldn't have helped them, but maybe over this long stretch, we wouldn't have lost Steph, and we don't lose him full capacity for a Game 7. But, that's coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Michael Porter could have done something too.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah,
he's from the league.
He's also his shoulder is cooked. Like he's gonna come out with a labor. Agreed.
Well, he almost fell out of the lottery because of his back, right?
Yeah, he's always cooked.
Michael Porter Jr. is that French fry that fell through the crack in the air fryer. Like just sit there to get cooked over and over again. That's him.
The hot dog in the gas station
keeps rolling.
It just keeps going, man.
Yeah. He either looks like the great, like just a really nice, B piece, like a just stretch the floor, can shoot with the best of them, or he is like you don't even notice he's on the court.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. What a career, man!
It's like Tobias Harris, but just different now. Yeah.
He's a touchy subject on this podcast. I complain about Tobias.
That's for sure. Well, the Thunder are now moving on to play the Timberwolves, and it is a series that I believe will go 7 and will be fun to watch. You got Ant-Man. Hopefully he shows up in this series because the person that showed up for Timberwolves has been Julius Randle, of all people. Who's absolutely shown up. Naz Reid as well, amongst many other phenomenal players. OKC kind of finally looked like they started to put it together, especially in this Game 7. But they went to the max in the first series too, right?
No, they killed the Grizzlies.
That's right. Yeah. So, I mean, I think they're learning as they go. Yeah. That the youth that start off with, I think they're adapting now, and I think this series was big for them. So, to see what happens from this point going forward will be definitely interesting for me. I still have them winning it all. I have not changed with that. And I guess we'll see where it goes. Now for the East, there's a famous arena in New York. For those that don't know, it's called Madison Square Garden. There's a particular team that represents themselves as orange and blue skies. There's a guy that is a famous filmmaker that just decided to have that all over a jersey, sits on a sideline. His name is Spike Lee. I'm talking about the New York Knicks, or as Brendan and Sam would refer to them as, Knicks tape.
Bing bong.
Yeah, bing bong, all that. The Knicks absolutely dominated the Pacers. The Celtics in this last game.
Hey, that's slip there.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. It's not. That's probably a bad omen that I said that for you guys, but we'll get into that. It was fun to watch that, for sure. It was more fun to see the aftermath of people being on top of billboards, surfing on signs. You always got to have the Spider-Man out there. You get to see the different faces that have become memes immediately. Cat was wearing a shirt of one guy that was in the crowd at the Yankee game the other day on his shirt. It's just very, very interesting to see all that has come from this, but I just want to take the time to give a shout out to him. He's been playing
to the guy in the shirt or to Cat.
No.
Okay.
Accosting Brian Windhorse.
I don't know if you saw, but the Pacers fan that they attacked in the streets.
Yeah, Halliburton's bringing him to Game 4.
Yes, he's bringing him to Game 4. If he can get off, because he is a firefighter, he offered him tickets to Game 4 and fly him out, his family, and all that. So
why are we throwing trash bags at that man?
He was just first off, that was a bad decision for him.
Of course,
you were asking for trouble, and then you got it, and then you were just like, "Oh, that happened to me." Why were you walking around Madison Square Garden, anywhere near that, with a Pacer jersey, knowing good and damn well they're playing them next?
Probably starting something too.
Of course, he wanted to rouse somebody up.
He got Game 4 tickets out of it. So
I mean, that's true. That is true. So it worked out in his favor. Jalen Brunson is absolutely a demon. Josh Hart is he has to be the heart of that team. Defensively, just the way he's kind of the guy that gets them going. And just with, getting elbowed in the face, bleeding, and just getting the crowd into it and stuff like that. He just the Villanova boys were just absolutely doing what they had to do. I'd like to hear what you gentlemen thought of the game, and then we'll talk about their next series.
Well, I'll just start with it's really cool to see these 4 teams kind of in the conference finals. I mean, the Timberwolves, 0 final appearances in 36 years of existence. OKC, 0 championship wins since relocation. So the last title win was 46 years ago. RIP Sonics. The Knicks, 0 championships in the last 52 years. And the Pacers, 0 championships in 49 years as an NBA franchise. So first finals appearance in birth at chance in 25 years. So, yeah, parity's back in the NBA. This will be the first time we've had 7 different champions in 7 years. You know, usually we see some back-to-backs in there or, you know, three-peats, so on and so forth. But, you know, it's anyone's league now, which makes the playoffs that much more exciting for just any fan base.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch, and don't know what's going to happen. Worried about all of these teams. I could see them all winning it all and falling apart at the same time. And I guess a lot of it's the unknown. But again, parity, the new NBA. I mean, this what is it called? The new hard cap, luxury tax, whatever it is. Like, it's going to kind of change how some of these teams are being built. So, you know,
I could see any combination of these teams being, you know, you could see T-Wolves Knicks, you could see Thunder Knicks, you could see Pacers Thunder, Pacers T-Wolves. It's all on the table, and that just makes for a good watch.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be okay with seeing Ant Edwards playing the Garden in the finals. That would be wild. Brendan. I know you normally don't talk on the basketball segment, but this is we're talking about your Knicks here. How happy are you?
So happy. Knickerbockers are back. Knicks tape. Knicks in 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see that, but okay.
Yeah, no. I think, you know, can we all admit too, like, this is good for basketball too, right?
Absolutely.
To have the Knicks back,
100%.
being relevant, playing meaningful games, being back in the conference finals, like Harry, like you mentioned, like first time in 25 years. I mean, it's and of all teams to play, the Pacers, right? It's like the storylines are going to be great. I'm sure Reggie Miller's going to be showing up and Spike, and, you know, it kind of brings, we were talking about 40, or us approaching 40, it brings us back to when we were kids, right? When the last time these two teams were in it together. So I'm excited, man. It's the first time in a long time that I can say that about the Knicks. So I think it's good, man. And like I've been joking with you guys, the world's not ready if the Knicks
Manhattan
win this series.
Yeah. The flash of what we saw after this series, they're definitely not ready for what's to come.
Yeah,
and for anyone criticizing a Knicks fan for celebrating, shut the hell up. It's this team has been the beacon of dysfunction and inefficiency for 25 years now, and we've had some glimpses throughout the years of like just some hope, but pretty much it's really just been surrounded by like Isaiah Thomas running us into the ground, or, you know, Phil Jackson signing random or drafting guys instead of Donovan Mitchell that aren't even in the league anymore. So
Steph Curry was the pick before the Knicks.
You know, stuff like that. So like just
Jeff Hornacek as a coach.
Lou
Munson. You could
so
go down
Joe
the list.
Noah contract, Eddie Curry. Like, can we?
Eddie Curry.
It's been a long 25 years, man. Like, as long as everyone's being safe and respectful, man, just have fun.
We're towing that line.
Yeah. I think we might be beyond that line.
Yeah, it's fine. But
it's been fun. I'm not quite sure it's fine.
Here's the thing, man. The new pope is from Villanova. So the Knicks, I jokingly said to someone that was like, if the Knicks win the championship, I'm just a devout Catholic now. Like, it's just...
There's a direct chance the Pope has prayed for Jalen Brunson.
That it really could be. Really.
Yeah, like, it's happened.
Yeah. So here we are.
Who are you picking?
I don't know, man. This is... we talked about, you know, I was giving the Pacers their flowers last week, that they're a tough team. They're a pain in the butt. I was going to ask the question, like, what would you rather be in the Knicks position where you're coming off the high of Friday? You probably should have gotten the game done on Wednesday, but that didn't quite work out in Boston. But here you are coming off this high, like the momentum. I mean, you were clicking on all cylinders and the Celtics fell apart, or you could be the Pacers who made quick work of, the Cavs, and they've been sitting for more than a week. Like, what do you guys think there?
I always feel the team that was consistently playing has a little more of a chance because they've kind of just been active. But I also think in this day and age, with all the technology and ways that they practice and whatnot and how they can stay ready, I don't necessarily think it'll matter. I think the Pacers will start a little slow in game one and you'll see like a little rust there, but I think they'll quickly get into it and go from there. I think both of my picks are very, very easy for me. I didn't really go back and forth about it. Like I said, I've already chosen the Thunder to win it all, so I didn't really change on that. And I have the Pacers winning this, point blank period. I know the thing is Knicks in 6 right now. I think it's the Pacers in 7 because I think that series, according to Brendan, 4. We might need to get him drug tested. But I think it would go 7. I think it's going to be a great series. In the script, huh?
No, go ahead. You can.
I was going to say the script was in when they both were at the WWE the beginning of the year, when Jalen Brunson and Hallie confronted each other. So it was already in stars. So I'm very intrigued by that. So yeah, that's my picks.
I have Pacers in 5.
Oh
yeah, or Knicks in 7, but I'm going to go Pacers in 5. I think if it gets to a game 7, I think the Knicks will win it at home, but I don't think it gets that far. I think the Pacers are super hot right now. They're really talented and deep, and I think that'll catch up with the Knicks. And we saw it in the last series with the Celtics. Like the Knicks really didn't play that well or a good half, except for. They never really did put together a whole complete game. They stole games 1 and 2, being down 20. I don't think you can get down 20 against the Pacers and come back and win. No, I just don't think that's possible. So I will not be showing my face in the streets of New York City because I think the Pacers kind of run away with this one.
He's going to have a Reggie Miller shirt on with the.
Yeah, I'd like to see differently though. I would like the Knicks to be in the finals. I just think the Pacers are just that good.
I agree with you too. I don't want to pour cold water on all of this either, but and I was pessimistic last week too, but that's before Tatum went down. They won game 3.
They played better without Tatum.
So I don't think the Knicks can play this kind of basketball, excluding Friday, and continue to win here, especially with the depth and the length that Indiana has. But as a Knicks, I hope I'm wrong because it's been a lot of fun. But as you have to play 48 minutes and you have to win the game. But I feel like blowing 2 20-point leads is more on Boston shooting themselves out of those games than it was, the Knicks doing anything special other than just finally putting it together and being consistent. So
I think that's a really valid point before Brendan goes. That is one of the things that I harped on from the beginning is. Harrison highlighted it a couple weeks back about how they are, a 3-point team. They did it last year. And I said that this is an easy way for them to shoot themselves out of this. And I don't know if it'd work. And it actually came to that. And you saw what we were talking about and hope that they did as soon as Jason Tatum went down. They actually played team ball, spaced it out, did what they needed to do, passed it around. And it worked so much better. If, to Sam's point, if they would have done that from the beginning, it would have been an absolutely different series. And also to Boston Celtics fans that are out here saying that the Knicks only won because Jason Tatum went down, you clearly were not watching the same goddamn series as everybody else because it didn't matter. Even with Jason Tatum out there, they still were getting waxed. So is what it is.
And I think Porzingis not being healthy, and here's the Porzingis experience.
Another French fry in the air fryer.
Totally, we've seen it up close for a decade now. But I think healthy Porzingis too kind of changes. Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown. This was another moment of all right, you're the $300 million player. You're always the 1B, and he did until he fouled out, but. that was a wild game on Friday.
I need to see if Cat is healthy too. I mean, he did something to his hand, and no one's really reported on it yet. But he went from making 4 threes a game the first round in the beginning of the Celtics series to he wasn't even taking 3-pointers by the end of the series with the Celtics, and he did something to his hand. And if that's the case, that just changes the whole dynamic of their offense.
Yeah, because he's such a weapon on the outside for being 7-footer.
Yeah, one of the best
two 7-footer
3-point shooters ever.
Yeah, I mean, he won a 3-point contest a couple years ago, which is just asinine to think of. If you were to tell me 25 years ago that, a center was going to win 3-point contest. Yeah. But a couple things. Mitch Robinson, that just like old school center kind of going, like it was a lot of fun to watch him, and he was all over the place. I think it was it Brown in the corner? He had him was like glue on him. That was a lot of fun to watch. And can we stop giving OG wide open shots that he's just going to miss? Friday saw like 3 or 4 wide open threes, just completely just miss. So let's not have that happen, or at least make them. OG, come on.
Coaches say you're open for a reason.
Yeah.
Brendan.
Knicks in 4.
What? Bing bong.
Crazier things have been said on this podcast. And we'll see.
I wouldn't be shocked any way this series goes. That's just my gut feeling. It's the Pacers, but hey, the Knicks can match up with them differently. I don't know. They keep it close. Jalen Brunson's the best clutch player in the NBA right now, and they're going to probably pull it out. But if they don't keep it close, I just worry for them.
Yeah. Not all seriousness. I think it'll be hopefully a good series. I'll say Knicks in 6. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it.
All right.
All right.
If they sweep the Pacers, he's going to be all over the place.
As he should be.
Yeah.
As he should be.
And I will too.
Yeah.
And Thunder in 7. That series is going to be nuts.
That series is going to be a lot of fun. Kicks tomorrow, right? Tips off?
Yes.
Probably said that.
Yeah.
No, that'll be a lot of fun. I hate not having Mike Breen on the call here, having ESPN do the Knicks, but he's the best. Man, the depth though, real quick, the depth and the of OKC. I didn't really watch too much of Game 7, but that's a lot of fun. That team there. I'll be really interested to see how Minnesota attacks that.
The Thunder.
It's been fun.
The Thunder will win the games that Jalen Williams plays well, and they'll lose the ones where he doesn't. And that's been his MO kind of all playoffs long. It's like when he gets 25 to 30, which he's very capable of doing. He's an NBA All-Star, but when he's scoring, they're going to win. But that should be the Thunder's game, or the T-Wolves' game plan, is really take him out of it, because SGA is just going to get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But if they can kind of limit Williams, they should win a few games, and I think it'll just go back and forth. It'll be very similar to the Nuggets Thunder series that we just watched, I think.
And to your point, Hayes, like can Ant show up here? Like, give him a pass for last series for whatever reason. But this is a moment. This is your moment, man.
This is your moment.
I don't have a moment right now. Mavs, number 1 pick.
It has to be rigged.
It 100% has to be rigged.
It has to be.
There's no doubt in my mind that it's rigged. Luka goes to the Lakers to enhance the Lakers and add on to the Lake show. Obviously, LeBron's already there, but to pick that up, and then they get flagged immediately after. What were their odds again?
It's like 1.4.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
They were just, the odds were crazy. Like they could have been either the 12th or like the first. It's how that worked out. I'm convinced it was rigged. I'm not like a conspiracy theory guy, but that one felt really weird.
I've never been either. I always laughed at the Ewing stuff.
Yeah, same.
But like this was weird, and I'm not a conspiracy theory guy at all. I mean, the New Orleans Memphis thing a couple years ago. That was a little weird, but like this like what like they do not you do not deserve to trade away Luka Doncic for nothing, literally nothing, and then have this happen. This can't happen. Like, this is bad juju. Like, this can't happen.
Watkins.
Yes. I mean, it saved the franchise. Like, I remember back when I said that rumor about them like tanking on purpose and then moving to Vegas because some of their ownership was from there. I feel like that was seriously in play, and now they get like a new lease on life with Cooper Flagg, who's going to be really, really great to generational. Like, he's that good. I really love him. I think he's going to be awesome. And, you know, they got a weird roster around him right now. Kyrie won't be back for a while, and Anthony Davis is day to day every day. So, but they do have great
in the air fryer.
Hey, he was looking good for a little bit, and now he's back to sliding between the car seat and
that's the part. That's the part when the French fry starts looking golden, and then you got something. All of a sudden, your kid needs something, and you forget that you have the fries in there, and then you get most of them out, and then that one falls. It's the nice. That was wild that I did that.
The one,
you get it.
It's the one between the cracks in the seat, man. And you were walking that back for a little bit. No, oh jeez, what's going on?
And we're sizing out the fries. It's but
wild.
Yeah, they have a new lease on life now, and I don't know. They don't deserve it. Whatever, it's fine. I was ready for them to be irrelevant for a while, but here we are.
They don't. But
Brendan, you know who the Mavericks are?
What's that?
Brendan, you know who the Mavericks are?
Is that the MLS team?
Yeah, that's
it. We can move on.
We can definitely move on to somebody that deserves actually something. The MVP.
Where is it?
I don't know.
It's so weird. It's usually announced the last series.
Everyone else has been announced, right? All the other awards?
Pretty much, yeah.
And voting is usually done at the end of the season. So
yeah, the votes are in. I'm shocked they didn't announce it during the Thunder and Nuggets series. Like, it's either one of those guys.
You feel like they were
not SGA. I'm protesting here.
Yeah,
I'm on the conspiracy thing now. Like, wow, maybe
that's
they were
just a little
waiting.
Strange too, man.
It's strange.
Adam Silver doesn't take me. He takes me as a straight shooter here.
He's doing some strange things.
There's weird things going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So we all think SGA should be the MVP, and we were just waiting until Game 7 to see what's up.
I think Jokic is going to win it, though. I mean, there's a ton of writers that have said like they voted for Jokic, and I would disagree. But I think that's what we're going to see.
Are we overcorrecting for Embiid a couple years ago here? Can we? I mean, it's hard. I mean, not that. I mean, Jokic had another phenomenal year, and it's just. It doesn't matter to me.
No, I wouldn't be mad at either of them. Jokic he's still the best player in the world. Like, he had a tremendous season. I mean, he had a 40-20 game, a 50-point triple-double. Like, he had some insane moments. But I just think the resume that SGA put together over the whole season, and then defensively as well, he's like the head of the snake on defense. The Thunder, it's a regular season award, but throughout the playoffs, they recorded the most steals in 2 rounds in history. And that's all part of SGA kind of leading the charge on defense, guarding, the other team's point guards, and point guard is the most depth in the league. But that would be my SGA case. But I could see Jokic winning it. I mean, he's amazing.
He's in the same space as some of these great players live in, that they could win the MVP every single year.
Yeah.
They're LeBron
just
for a
automatic
while,
contender.
Kobe, Jordan, so on and so forth. Like, these type of players could win every year, but then it's the voter fatigue, and they just don't want to give the same person it over and over again. I understand, because they understand viewership, and if the same guy wins it every year, they're gonna be like, well, the conspiracy theorists are gonna come out, well, he's gonna always win and all this other stuff. So they want to keep it interesting. But Jokic could literally win again. But it's probably going to be SGA. It's going to be that same spiel as you guys said, the Embiid and Jokic and type thing. So, yeah, it just needs to get here and get over with and done, so we can just move on and not have to talk about it anymore.
I think to like NBA fans, and I know like I'll say Harrison, Brandon too. You watch more basketball than I do. I don't know. Brendan may watch the most basketball, but
Brendan voted for Jalen Brunson. I bet.
Yeah, he totally did. Nick's tape. It doesn't like SGA's reached the part of a career where it doesn't even matter if he has an MVP. I mean, having one would be nice, but like his play over the last couple of years has just he's in that tier. He's in that first team perennial tier. It doesn't matter how the awards. You mentioned Luka, LeBron, Giannis. These guys are perennial like MVP candidates.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just hate the flip flopping on the reasoning. It's like, they were the number one team, and he had a better statistical season. And
you could have made the argument he could have won last year too. So
we'll see. I hope it's SGA. I think it'll be Jokic, but then I won't be mad at either. So we're just sitting on the fence.
Giannis, stop tweeting about New York and getting everybody riled up unless you're going to come to the Nets.
He did a Q&A yesterday. It was awesome.
Did he?
Yeah, he's just answering Twitter questions from fans.
He's awesome in general.
Yeah.
I just enjoy him. Yeah. Let's talk some baseball. For those that were wondering how we can get Brendan to talk, here you go. The Yankees, we got here. They took on the Mets, and it was a Subway Series. And there was a guy that had his back turned on by the bleacher creatures. Might be a guy named Juan Soto. Very, very, very fair. His first trip there, back, he made some solid but unstable plays out there.
Solid,
definitely
unstable.
Anytime he runs for a fly ball, I'm always just like, this could go really, really bad every single time because he just stabs in the air. It never looks smooth. It's just
never.
I hope I catch this and it works out. Like, his defense is definitely not the part that teams are paying money for at all. But he was 1-10. During the series. He had 3 strikeouts. There was apparently no Soto shuffle, no aura, and he also did not want to be mic'd up during this at all, too. Very, very interesting. But Mets fans, you have fun with that. Cody Bellinger, though, during this 13-game hit streak, he's 20 for 53 with a batting average of 377. 4 doubles, 4 home runs, 7 walks, and an OPS of 1.129.
That's really good, guys. I just want to let you know.
Sounds good.
Over 800, so. 0.800 is like solid.
I sent something to the group of all the guys that were acquired by the Yankees instead of paying for Juan Soto. All were extremely effective this series. It was just irony all, and hitting that grand slam over Juan Soto's head, as Harrison said, was in a group chat, was kind of the chef's kiss here. It was just watching it, and it was absolutely lovely. So, gentlemen, what were your takeaways from the first Subway Series?
Go
ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, it was kind of poetic, right? Like, Harry, like you mentioned, the Bellinger grand slam in right field. I mean, just out of the reach of Soto, It goes, so Hayes talking about Soto's lackluster defense, right? I mean, exactly what we were worried about when the whole contract conversations were going on in free agency. It reared its ugly head in the playoffs last year, right?
Sure.
And, his inability to field a couple of balls off the wall or in the corner. He missed a cutoff man, right? Thank God Lindor was there the other night. So, yeah, it's actually it's like a sigh of relief, right? Like it's almost like vindication that this was the right path forward for the Yanks to take that salary that they were going to dish out for Soto, spread it across Goldie, Fried, Bellinger, and then Devin Williams, right? And bring in these guys, make us a better all around team, and it feels good. I mean, Soto's probably unhappy. He didn't look like himself, to me at least. It didn't, like you said, didn't have that same kind of enthusiasm and aura. And I love it, to be honest with you. It's you went for the money, and I can't blame you. But it feels good. It feels good.
Yeah, I think that just kind of echoes what we talked about when the deal was made. And I know you agree, Brendan, because we talked about it at the time too. Like, just kind of fine that he didn't take the deal. Like, we Yankee fans, there were so many holes there. I think I think he handled everything great, all things considered, right? Like, sure, we can nitpick about certain things. He said he was gonna be mic'd up, and then he didn't. He'd wait till the last minute to go into right field. He played catch in shallow right field. Yeah, sure. I mean, he doesn't care. He makes almost $1 billion. He doesn't care what. Doesn't matter. I think he handled it fine. Like giving the curtain call or whatever, like tipping his cap when everyone was booing him. Like, he's having fun with it. But yeah, he didn't look like himself. And now there's all these crazy reports like he's unhappy and blah, blah, blah. But, whatever. I think, I thought it was more important what we did with that money as plan B, and, immediately signed Max Fried, and he's looking like the Cy Young Award winner right now.
Yep.
I mean,
my pick.
Clay Bellinger's kid just kicking ass.
High as a kite.
Just having fun out there.
And
yeah, hopefully we get Devin Williams back to what he can be, and him getting the better of Pete Alonso this weekend was nice to see after what happened in last year's playoffs when he was on the Brewers. But yeah, it doesn't matter if Devin Williams is your setup man or your closer. Luke Weaver's just as good, and Loaiza's back. We need as much like depth and talent as we can. So like, just coming from the Yankee fan perspective here, like it was nice that these guys all contributed, and the world keeps spinning. Like, baseball keeps going. Soto was a good sport about it, and I think it was fun.
I think it just works out for all parties involved. From a Yankees standpoint, like you guys said, there were so many holes that needed to be filled, and it was never going to get filled with Juan Soto on the team. And would I have loved to have him on the Yankees? I enjoy it. 100%. We're all in agreement there. Yeah. But it seems like, the Mets need that kind of aura or excitement more in order to bring together like what we just saw this past weekend. Like, there was some crazy buzz around this series, and it's only May, but it's, in a regular season that's so long, to have a weekend like this where, we get the Subway Series kind of full on, fleshed out what we really want to see as New York sports fans. I like when the Mets are good, because it just makes it more exciting when the games are happening for fans and both teams involved. So yeah, I mean, I still have question marks about Soto, all the same things that you guys said, when it comes to the playoff time and his attitude towards, just winning. I don't, he's obviously won a World Series already, but is he, a winning player as the main focus piece? Those are questions that he's going to have to answer going forward. But this weekend wasn't a great sign for it. He looked really off and really kind of afraid of the moment.
Yeah.
But I guess
interesting because he was electric in the biggest moment last year.
Yeah, it's just odd, but it's baseball.
It was so crazy how the dynamic between the bleacher creatures in right field and him last year, right? Now, this is Aaron Judge's position. You have Judge's chambers out there, and the Dominican vibe, all of this, like, just, and everyone who ever sat in right field was like, well, we need to keep Juan Soto. Like, we know the mission. We joke about it in text all the time. If the chicken tender basket goes up $10, whatever, man, we got Juan Soto. Like, we get it, but like how we embraced him, I say, like, the collective we here, like, and okay, well, it's just not meant to be. Like, we tried, and again, he was having fun with it, but he was off, and hopefully, there's not many players in the league where at 26 years old, you're like, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer at 26 years old. I mean, not if his career ended right now, but the trajectory, like that does not happen. And he's there.
Number one, he is one of the best baseball players, one of the best hitters we've ever seen.
Ever.
I had to correct myself because, as I've just talked about his defense, I think his defense is absolutely terrible. So on that aspect, I won't give him credit, but I think there's room for improvement there, and we all have room for improvement. But hitting, I would never want to see that man in any situation, period, because he can go off in any second, and I want to give him his all due respect. But this is when it's my teams, like as a fan of sports, when I see a team has an opportunity to go out and get a superstar, I'm all for it. But when it's for my team, I'm always torn because I know what happens when you put and devote so much money for one individual is holes do not get filled. We talked about this on mini pods, and even before Brendan and Harrison were on here, Sam knows how much I love the farm system. And Brendan and I talk about it, and we would talk about it, obviously not on air and whatnot. But I was always an advocate of calling these young guys up, giving them an opportunity, and stop going out in free agency and build up. Watching how the league has been doing it for years and watching how the Yankees were pretty much getting dated and not filling in the pieces. But now it's like a solid mix. They got guys from their system. I mean, one of the best players in the league, and a future Hall of Famer is from the Yankees system. And that's Aaron Judge, right? So you have those pieces like that are here that guys were traded, but had their whole career in the Yankee farm system and came up. I just love the pieces that they got. Bellinger was a guy that was hitting for power in the beginning of his career. Now he's more of a contact, solid hitter all around that can do both, right? His fielding, his glove is phenomenal. He will always flash the leather. You have that. Jason Dominguez finally has an opportunity to do what he has to do. When that man gets on base, he is a blur, right? This is what I know. I talk so much shit about him. This is what I wanted in Brett Gardner, to get on base more consistently and be that guy that took off. When Brett did get on base, this is exactly what he did, right? But Jason Dominguez at any point in time, can go yard,
different type of hitters, but I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean, right?
So fast as he was, Brett Gardner was not a great base runner.
Correct. Yeah. He barely got. Depends. You knew he was striking out or whatnot. He wasn't consistently on base. There is still some weaknesses. I still believe that their defense is not where it needs to be in totality. And I know Volpe is a solid shortstop. I don't know why I said second baseman. Solid shortstop. But then there's the opposite side of it. He is terrible at the plate, right? So third base with Peraza. You saw it in that game. If that was a closer game, that could have been crucial, that error that he made over there. And it ate him up, but it is what it is. All in all, I'm saying this. I think this just needed to play out the way that it played out. The Mets got who they wanted to get. They spent all the money. They can empty out the bank. They can do whatever they want to do. They got who they wanted to get. And they are, I think, still, even after this weekend, they're the top of their division. And the Yankees are still the top of their division. So it's working out. Maybe we actually have a Subway Series again in the World Series, and then we can all really put this to the test and put up or shut up at that point in time.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with the Mets, and we were saying it in the offseason, was, Clay Holmes is your number one starter. And the pitching, aside from some of these scores, and a lot of that was the bullpen, the starting pitching has been solid for the Mets all year without Sean Manaea, without Frankie Montas. Severino's gone. I don't know. That sounds about right. So, can that get better? You're going to get Manaea back. I don't know if Montas is a plus anywhere, but you'll get him back. There's, they have the assets to make some moves. The Yankees have the assets to make some moves too. So, and again, Max Fried has arguably, him or Scuba or Cy Young if the season ended right now. Like what Max Fried is doing right now is really special. And knowing that it would have been awesome to have Cole anchor this lineup and have Fried do what he's doing.
Yep.
But just to not skip a beat and you're missing, one of the better pitchers in baseball. in Garrett Cole. Like it's, that's what a great signing. And it's hard to say when you're spending over $200 million on a pitcher, but like so far it's come back, all pluses here. So
Dealing.
Yeah. He's a complete package too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's leading the league tied for wins, leading in ERA, Gold Glover, So, it seems like they're really focused on getting these, well-rounded guys this year, So like I was alluding to before, like with Soto, we're going to shell out over $700 million for really just a bat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Belly, Gold Glover, Goldschmidt as well, right? Forgot about him. I mean, he's having a
hell of a year.
He just looks rejuvenated, like his old self. Everything's clicking right now. It's still mid-May, a long way to go. But yeah, a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, from the Yankees standpoint, I mean, Jazz hopefully is back in June some point. If DJ keeps hitting, he's our third baseman. It sucks that Waldo's out. If not, we find one. We'll find one. And
I'll tell you too, DJ looked good in this series, man. Like
he really did. He did.
He was one of my favorite players a few years ago. When he was going through the machine, stage there and everything, and Silver Slugger and all that. But batting title. But if he could just be like a semblance of his former self, that's a huge plus for us, right? Because he can either plug him over at third, or he can just come off the bench, play second, third, first, even, right? Spell Goldie a little bit. So that'd be a huge asset to have off the bench.
Agreed. Yeah, I love when a guy leaves a place that they were at for so long and for most of their career and goes to another place and just becomes rejuvenated. I think, it also helps when you go to a place that you're wanted and somebody there and you have a friendship and relationship. And I remember when we were talking about this in the preseason and whatnot, and I said, I think Goldie's coming here. And I said, it's because there's a relationship to Judge. You guys remember when I was talking to you and texting you about that?
Totally.
And I think that plays a huge part in it. When you have somebody there that you really want to play with, it gives you a different type of energy, but it also helps obviously when you're healthy. So that's a big part to that. He's healthy at this point in time. Also, Yankees getting former Cardinals players seems to continue to work out. So keep doing that, Nolan Arenado. See where they're at.
They're going to have to give him away, St. Louis. They're
that's my point.
He doesn't want to be there.
No.
They have no market for him. If it's, we've talked about this offline a lot. If it costs Spencer Jones or something like that, just do it. Just get
Question for you two baseball nerds. Seeing how Bregman is playing right now, do you think is a mistake that the Yankees didn't go and try to get him to play third base?
No.
Not
at all.
Yeah, go ahead, Brendan.
Not at all. No. I think he fits that Red Sox lineup perfectly. I think he fits that ballpark perfectly as well. He's going to come back down to earth. He's going to have a hell of a year. Already started off that way. No, not throwing any shade at him, but no, I don't have any regrets or any sort of, bad feelings about them not going after him or signing him.
Yeah, it's weird that you go into this. I mean, this team, I heard the other day, like when after Oswaldo Cabrera broke his ankle, like Judge and Volpe stayed in the hospital with him all night. Like, damn, man, like this team loves Oswaldo Cabrera. But to go into the season with him as your third baseman, or might have been DJ, I know he had some setbacks, like that was weird, but I guess it's what made the most sense, and they didn't want to sign Bregman. But yeah, his swing is tailor made for Fenway and that lineup, and yeah, he'll, maybe we'll see that, a couple years back when he was with the Astros and playing pretty well. I don't think he's ever going to hit 40 home runs again, but I don't have regret. I think we'll upgrade that position if DJ ends up being, unfortunately, what he has been the last couple of years, but otherwise I think we're okay. He's solid glove, has hit all throughout this lineup and can play everywhere, so that's an asset.
Yeah.
Sam, you know what's solid?
What's up?
Your MLB power rankings. Get to it.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, number 5. I haven't done this in a while, so usually I can compare. I didn't even look the last time I did it, but at 5 I have the Cubs here. So they're 28-19. I just think even losing Justin Steele, who was like runner up for a Cy Young just a couple of years ago, he's out with TJ, I think. And they'll probably get another starter somewhere. Yeah. But this team's a lot of fun. Kyle Tucker, who was my MVP pick, he's having a great season. They'll get some pitching here. They'll figure out this bullpen, and then they're really going to be a team to reckon with. 4 of the Tigers, which is crazy. As I mentioned, Fried could win the Cy Young right now. Drake Skubal, who won last year, and shout out was my Cy Young pick last year. He looks insane. Jackson Jobe, their number 1 prospect. I think we spent way too much time during our MLB preview talking about Jackson Jobe, but he looked filthy yesterday. And the team's playing really well, and that division's really bad. So they're kind of running away with it right now, 31-16.
Yeah.
I have the Mets at 3. Dodgers at 2. I would have kept the Dodgers at 1, but they got swept by the Angels this weekend without Mike Trout.
What the hell was that about?
Yeah. That can't happen.
Yeah.
That can't happen. So I just for that alone, I have them at 2. I have the Yankees at 1 just because, I think all of these teams are really good, and you can make a case that they're all could be number 1, but just based on the weekend, Yankees got the better of the Mets, and Dodgers got swept by the Angels. I put the Yankees 1. I looked at some other power rankings throughout some other publications, and they all had, either the Dodgers or the Tigers at 1, and I was like, nope, just based on this, I'm going to go Yankees. So call me a homer, that's fine.
They the Tigers over the Yanks?
There were a couple like that have the Tigers at number 1, yeah, which is, I think it's a little too soon. I'm all about it. I mean, we talked about the Tigers ad nauseum a couple weeks ago. I know you feel the same way, but yeah, I'm good there. Honorable mentions though: Mariners, Brian Wu. If he can stay healthy, he's one of the better pitchers. There you go. One of the better pitchers in baseball. They're about to get George Kirby back. They're going to get Logan Gilbert back, hopefully soon. What was that, Brendan?
Woo!
I got the Phillies in there too as honorable mentions. Can I do a real quick an honorable loser?
Sure.
The freaking Baltimore Orioles front office.
Sam, we called this before.
Yeah, they did nothing to address their pitching staff. They have such an electric offense that they grew like homegrown players here. Arguably, like the MVP and Gunnar Henderson, could be Jackson Holiday. All those outfielders did nothing to address their pitching staff. Let Corbin Burns go, or Corbin Burns left, whatever. And you signed, what was their big pitching acquisition? Charlie Morton at over 40 years old.
That's
great career, Charlie Morton.
Yeah.
World Series winner, love him. But Brandon Hyde got fired over the weekend. The Orioles are 15-30, and he was managing this team after Buck Showalter and dealing with all of these awful years where they were tanking and didn't know which end was up. And the team's off to a really bad start, and it just kind of sucks that the front office fires the manager because the front office couldn't get them arms to compete. So
someone had to take the fall, right?
Yeah. So there that is. So don't really have to worry about the Orioles right now. Again, they're 15-30. So that sucks for them. But
I know we spent a lot of time on baseball, but could we also just take a moment to acknowledge just what Aaron Judge is doing right now? It's
sure can.
Right? I mean, I feel like we take it for granted just being Yankee fans and seeing him every day, but it's historical, right? I mean, it is. We're in the midst of greatness right now and watching something that may never be done again, right? And
legit.
It's special. Just really quick. Leads all of major leagues in hits, average, OBP, slugging, OPS, leads the AL in runs, home runs, RBIs. It's unreal.
Pretty good.
It's not, Aaron Judge, good at baseball.
Yesterday, I saw his OPS plus was over 200, which the baseline for an average major leaguer is 100. So it's just special. It's just weekly reminder that Aaron Judge is, the best right-handed hitter in the planet. because 401, 15 home runs, 41 RBIs. On base percentage is almost 500. That's insane. So
I just want to say that I had the Dodgers over Baltimore in the World Series, and Brendan had the Dodgers over Baltimore in the World Series. So
I picked Baltimore to win the AL East.
You did. You did.
I'm an honorable loser as well.
Yeah. Not great. Not great from us right now.
A long way to go.
Hey, early in the season. The Nationals won the World Series, right? Weren't they the worst team in baseball at Memorial Day a couple years ago? Like 6 years ago? Anything can happen, I guess.
I just want to say again, I had Fried as the AL Cy Young. just want to say that again.
We covered that.
So, I did. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure. So let's get into some other stuff here. Wow, that's the wrong thing I have here. It just took away from what I wanted to do, guys. I'm sorry. Do you care? Immediately for me, no. Scotty Scheffler wins the PGA Championship by 6 shots.
You got his name right.
I know who he is. I don't think I don't know who he is. Right. He beat Bryson DeChambeau. I know that.
Wow.
See,
nice, man.
Don't you goddamn sleep on me like I don't know sports. Man. Shit.
What's Xander's last name?
Yeah, say that one.
Bogart.
Nice.
Chocolate.
I have no idea.
That hooked on phonics starting to pay off.
I know how to read. Reading
good.
Reading fundamental. Like I said, I don't care, but these 3 fools definitely care. So, gentlemen, you go ahead and talk about it.
It was fine. It was pretty boring. Thursday and Friday, the leaderboard was horrendously bad. Like a bunch of guys that I didn't even know. Then Scotty Scheffler goes crazy on Saturday, and then he basically runs away with it on Sunday to win his 3rd major. He's won twice at Augusta, so there was questions on if he could win anywhere else, and he answered those yesterday. So shout out Scotty Scheffler. Obviously, probably
Scotty doesn't know.
He's pretty boring on his face, but he's definitely fiery and has like a real competitive spirit. I mean, we last saw him kind of putting the jacket on Rory McIlroy at the Masters. So for him to follow it up in the next major and win by 6 shots is pretty cool. Rory played terribly, skipped interviews all 4 days, would not talk to the media. So that was a little weird by Rory. Yeah, you can't do that. They're not obligated to talk to the media, but he should probably talk to the media.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scotty's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Next 2 majors. Next one's U.S. Open. It's in Oakmont. Do you know where that is, Hayes?
No.
Pittsburgh. So
yeah. Why would I know that? I don't know. Who knows anything in Pittsburgh outside of people in Pittsburgh?
I didn't know where Oakmont was.
Oakmont's
wearing a Tiger Woods shirt. I don't
very,
know.
Very famous, regarded as the hardest course in the world almost. So that'll be a fun one, but Scotty's the odds-on favorite for that one. And then the last major is at Royal Portrush, so Rory's home. So we're shaping up for a pretty fun PGA Live Golf summer. So,
do you see the Nike ad they ran after?
Nike ad was incredible.
Fantastic. Guilty.
I didn't see it yet, but Nike has been in their absolute bag this year for commercials, and it feels like early 2000s Nike commercials. I don't know who's directing and who has that. I do know for Asia Wilson, fun fact, Barack Obama's daughter directed Asia Wilson's commercial. Cool. So, there you go. If you don't like that, suck it. Brock Purdy got paid 5 years, $265 million extension.
I was going to ask who Asia Wilson
is. Asia Wilson is probably the best player in the not probably. She is the best player in the WNBA right now. Right now.
She plays.
Who are you going to say otherwise, Harrison?
It's Caitlin's time.
It's not, but okay.
Smash or pass?
Not yet. It's not Caitlin's time yet.
What are we doing here?
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, Beacon.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're definitely not doing that. 5 years, $265 million extension that keeps him in the Bay through 2030. $181 million guaranteed money, full no trade clause, 63% of the deals cash in the first 3 years, unlike other recent quarterback contracts. Do you care? No, because it's F the Niners always. That's number one. Number two, I think that's dumb that they have a no trade clause because they're about to have nobody there for him to throw to. So they probably should just get rid of him after like the first 3 years. But sure, have fun with that. Have fun with that.
I think it is set up where they can get rid of him after.
That's smart. But I will give him props for being Mr. Irrelevant and getting this big of a contract. He played himself into that, and I got to give him respect for that because he was doubted, and I always love an underdog, and shout-outs to him for getting the bag for that. So, but I really don't care about anything that happens to the 49ers.
It's going to be a weird team, man. I know they just signed Fred Warner, too.
Yeah, 3-year deal, I think it is.
This team is just so weird.
I like it for my Cardinals.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Here you had a 4-year window to create this super team with literally the cheapest quarterback you could draft. And they almost got there. But, now here's phase 2, right? Like, all right, you gave him the bag now.
It's a lot of money. I like Brock Purdy, but it's a lot tied up in one guy.
Yeah.
That's the NFL. That's the way it works.
Kittle's getting old. They got rid of Debo to the Commanders.
CMC's going to like Europe and getting injections, and
you know what I've been saying all podcast for CMC. He's where that fry's at. Just another person there,
You want fries with that?
You just know where that fry's at. I ain't gotta say nothing else to y'all. Pete Rose, I had a joke and that was gonna be very bad. And I'm not gonna talk badly about the dead. Last week, MLB commissioner Rob Manfred effectively lifted Rose's lifetime ban by announcing a new policy that permanent ineligibility ends upon the passing of the disciplined individual. Rose accepted a lifetime ban in 1989, died this past September at the age of 83. I'm not going to read all those damn stats because that's just a lot. What is your thoughts on this, gentleman? Do you care that he is eligible now that he's transcended, is unalived?
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's unfortunate that they waited, 7 months, 8 months after he died. I mean, I don't know. I realize this was like the one rule in baseball, right? That you don't break and you don't bet on the games and everything. But someone got those hits, right? And obviously with the legalization of gambling and everything and sports gambling over the past few years, you have to assume that this conversation started a while back, right? Like it didn't just happen overnight. It's unfortunate. I think really missed an opportunity here, waiting until after he passed away. And I don't know. It doesn't really sit well with me, but maybe I'm just the old man of the group. I don't know.
Is it because every rose has thorns?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
I'm not mature enough for this conversation. But I think this move is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean he's passed.
Yeah.
I mean
this was happening the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was always what was the end result of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think and I spent my years like after or in college, like the steroid, that was the kind of the reckoning of the steroid players and being like, being the old man dying on a hill kind of thing. But I just feel like Pete Rose was given so many opportunities to fix this, and he never did. And he only admitted that he did this to sell books and sell autographed baseballs when he did finally admit to it. And it could have went a lot of different ways, but it kind of just seems like, and from everything I read, like he never really wanted it to. And I know he lived and breathed baseball and has forgotten in his in his lifetime forgot more things than I'll ever know about baseball. But I guess I don't care. I think I heard Reggie Jackson say this, like there are steroid users in the Hall of Fame, whether we know about them or not. Like this, it's an inevitable thing. He's part of baseball history, but it didn't quite seem like he ever was remorseful about the situation until it came to him getting paid off of it. So for that, I don't care, but I'm not going to be the old man dying on a hill about it. It doesn't make any difference. He's 4,000 hits. He's the all-time leader in hits in baseball. He should be recognized.
Agreed. I mean, we also have a bunch of drunks in the Hall of Fame, but we don't want to talk about that. No, he's one of the greatest hitters of all time. Absolutely should be in there. Yes, did he do something wrong? Yeah, absolutely. But to Brendan's point, kind of should have been like the effect of what happened with Reggie Bush, which I still don't think it should have happened to Reggie in general. Is like once you make this legal and you do these certain things anyway, just get with the times, just make it happen. It's just unfortunate that he'll never be able to get to see his name go in there, and it should be in there because those runs, those hits don't just disappear. It's a part of baseball history. It's there. I know that there's, as you mentioned, Sam, a bunch of baseball players that are in the Hall with steroid allegations and some that we don't know. They still had to hit the damn ball. They still had the field. They still had to do so many different things. I don't know if any of you have swung at 100-mile-per-hour fastball, but it's not easy. If you ever watch videos and listen to baseball players, they say they have to essentially guess an area because it's hard to track where the ball is going with their eyes. If you think that these guys automatically get bionic eyes and they can just and they're Terminator out of nowhere and just look at shit, you're out of your mind. I know it helps, but they still have to put bat to ball and still be able to put it out.
It's got to be the hardest thing to do in sports, right?
Yes.
In all professional sports, you got to hit a round ball with a round bat square, right? You got to like hit it on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Bonds, talk about steroids. We can do a whole episode on this, I'm sure. But Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before steroids, So it's
part of history.
It is part of history. It's Americana, right?
I think he'll ultimately get in because he's not being, the writers vote and they always hold grudges, and Albert Bell was mean to me, so I'm not going to vote for him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get voted in by the writers now. He's going to get written in by what used to be called the Veterans Committee. So it's like a group of like veteran coaches and managers and people in the game. Tony La Russa, I think, was famously part of this committee, or may still be. So it's like he'll probably get in. His friends are on there, and that's not a slight on Pete Rose. I mean, shoeless Joe Jackson's also eligible for the Hall of Fame now because he's been dead for 100 years. So it's like, it'll be interesting to see how that happens. So they can be eligible for the summer of 2028. So there's some time here, but I guess it's just an inevitable thing of at some point it will happen. But
yeah, it's just silly. Yeah. And I think it's safe to say his record will probably never be broken, right? So
yeah. Baseball, fun times. Fun times.
You guys watch a funny sport.
Definitely do. I mean, I don't watch it because I live in New York and I can't watch my team on a local channel. So,
I was going to say, Harrison, I feel like you texted us more about baseball this weekend than
I love all sports
than the three of us did. So
it's all funny when you.
Harrison is locked in for the major stuff. Like when it's big games, Harrison is 100% locked in. There's no doubt in my mind. I know he's watching. He may not say it, but all of a sudden you're going to get a text, and then you're going to know that he's watching it by the text. And that's all you need to know. And then you just run with it and go from there. The fact that he watched the draft is still on my mind, that he watched the draft and is going from there. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about the reports that have been coming out of Cleveland, but somebody's been getting rave reviews, and it wasn't the first quarterback that they took.
Dylan Gabriel, I think, right?
What? funny how that works out.
Joe Flacco?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
Definitely Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Two glove Kenny. Yeah.
Hey, that's Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
That is.
You're damn right.
Put some respect on it.
You are damn right. It's a great team that he won with, too. Gentlemen, anything you'd like to say before we get out of here?
1 gorilla or 100 Kenny Pickett's?
Ooh. Is he wearing gloves?
That would help. Yeah, he gets the gloves.
That ain't gonna help him at all.
Go Birds.
Oh, Knicks in 4.
Sam, you got anything?
Nothing, man. I got nothing.
I want to take the time to shout out a young man that Brendan actually knows that just declared to his college baseball team, Jalen Collins. A friend of mine, his father is Alex Collins and his mother is Janine Collins. He is now playing baseball down in South Carolina. I can't pronounce the name of the school, but it's USC something down there. Not to be confused with USC in California, but I want to give a shout out to that young man. I got to watch him grow up and play baseball and now see that he chose a college team to play baseball going forward. Extremely, extremely happy for him. So shout out to you, young man. Your little annoying ass. I'm sure I'll get a text from you and I'll be texting you and you'll be talking shit like you normally do. So
shout out the Gamecocks.
It's not the Gamecocks. You just wanted to say that.
Go Gamecocks.
Okay. All right, Sam, close this out, please, before we get fucking canceled. Goodness gracious.
Huh? 171 in the books. So thanks for listening. For Brendan and Brandon and Harrison, I'm Sam. Yeah. Thanks so much for listening. Check us out on Instagram at Chasing Points Podcast and chasingpointspodcast.com. Until then, next time. Peace.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Nick safe.
Fuck you guys.